What's up, everyone? My name is Codemaster Sparkman, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing Market Watch, my first Market Watch on this channel. We do Market Watch on my other channel, that being my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, where we discuss how cards have gone up and down, seal value throughout the past few days, weeks, months, years, have just exploded or really just come down in price as well. But we're going to be talking about Chaotic. Obviously, with Chaotic as well, we don't have any new supply. So we're going off old product, old cards as well, and seeing how the market has kind of affected the cards and sealed product as the announcement of the game is returning. So again, we're taking a look at old stuff and primarily on eBay because obviously there's not a lot of spaces to kind of find old Chaotic product besides just eBay in general. So we're going to be primarily looking on eBay, and if there's any other sites that you all recommend, please send them my way. Would love to take a look if there's other sites that have Chaotic, and what their kind of speculation on what the price should be for certain things as well. Always nice to see that as well. And we're going to be talking about a few things on the channel today, especially on market, because there are cards being kind of sold quickly right now. And obviously there's a lot of hype with the game returning. However, I think there'll be even more hype the week before the game actually is out, and that's where I would wait to actually post things up for sale. So this is just a little bit of advice, but again, that's just my opinion. I'm no financial advisor, so I just want to put that out there. Take what I say with a grain of salt. This is just opinionated financial take on things. So again, always just be responsible with your money as well, and just be aware of what you're doing and how much you're spending, as we're talking about everything on the channel as well, especially when we talk about market stuff on the channel as well. Now, let's take a look at some of the products that are up right now. Now, I see Chaotic Rudd has this up for a bid right now, up for auction. He actually sold, by the way, if you don't know who Chaotic Rudd is, he is basically one of the goats of Chaotic. Pretty much one of the best content creators we ever have out in this space right now. Make sure to go follow him if you don't already follow him. But he actually had something up last week. I think it was like a Tanga Toborn card that was a PSA 10. And I think it sold for like $820 if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is so hard to get Chaotic cards as a PSA 10, let alone an 8 or even a 9. They come out the pack damaged, and even if you've had them in a sleeve, somehow, some way, they get damaged. Like it's insane how easily these cards get ruined, even in a sleeve. As you're trying to put them in, it's insane. So to get a PSA 10 and a Chaotic card, it's a much harder thing than any other TCG out there, especially since these are older cards on top of that as well. So it's insane that he has a bunch of these laying around, and I say laying around because I feel like he's putting up a bunch of these PSA 10s every week. But we have another one here in Barris Beyond that's ending in 5 days, already at $78 on 11 bids. I expect this one to sell for about what the basically Tanga Toborn went for, if not even more, because again, the market right now is just trickling upwards right now, and it's in the favor of people listing stuff up for high price tag as well. We've been seeing people buy into the tins, sealed product, graded cards in general, Ripple cards. So there is a lot of hype right now in the card game. Prices have escalated, especially the last few days, and I'm not surprised about that at all. One thing to note, I will say, I think the tins are a great purchase right now, just because personally, we talk about like older generation of just Chaotic, and these are the scanners. Like this is like kind of like OG scanners, the way they look. We don't know if they're gonna end up changing how the version of the scanner looks now in the new game being brought back, or the new show. But this is like the original artwork of the scanner, and then this is the original tint on top of it, right? This is a tint that came out so long ago, so people are going to be hunting this down later on. So once these sell out on eBay, when they do pop up eventually again on eBay, and again, they're very scarce items, they're probably going to not be $129 or $80 or whatever they're going for on certain places here on eBay. I would just recommendation, pick them up while you can, especially these starter decks as well. These first edition starter decks, think about it as like starter decks like Yugi and Kaiba, all these things from like Yu-Gi-Oh space, right? Not to do comparison, but like these types of things are very rare in the space, especially a first edition starter deck, right? This is like the first iteration of how you played the game, and just like a little bit of like a help to start in learning the game as well. So this is going to be a very hot commodity item later on in the future. $97 is not terrible. I know these prices are extremely kind of expensive in that regard, but again, this is old product, right? This is not new product. This is old things that have been out for a long time. If anything, this should be even much more than what it is right now, in my opinion. The amount of scarce items that are in the chaotic space right now, I'm surprised that the prices are as low as they are. And I say that with a straight face because, ladies and gentlemen, like we have very limited things to get right now in the space of chaotic, and that being old products, old sealed things especially. And if you can get something first edition, by all means, like, you should be hunting that down because you know that's only going to go up over time, especially ripple cards on top of it. Ripple cards are very rare, hot commodity cards as well in the chaotic space. So my recommendation, if you see a ripple card that you want, that's a pretty affordable price, that's in pretty decent condition as well, I would chase after it personally. But that's just my take on things. Now, talking about ripple cards, we do have the official player guide sealed here for $329. I think this is the last one for around that $300 price tag before I think I saw one for like $900 or so. So this is the last cheap one I think that's on here as well. If not, if I'm mistaken, you guys let me know. But this is a really cool item because it does have an exclusive Raimusa card in it that is also a ripple card on top of it. So you got a ripple card in the guide sealed as well. A very, again, hot commodity card on top of it as well. So you know the player guide is going to go up, especially in that regard, especially if you have it sealed. I think this is going to be a very hot commodity item in the future as well. And obviously, not to downplay it, and not to, obviously the booster boxes. I mean, they're great. I mean, I love them, but there are other things you can pick up for better prices right now that can see itself increase up in price. Now, I will say, obviously, the booster boxes will increase even much more than it is right now, especially with the game's return. And who knows if we're going to be able to use the old cards in the new game. And I say new game because it really is going to be a new entire arc of the game, so we don't know what's going to happen with the old cards, if they're going to be playable in the new space as well. But then, so people are going to still want the old things, because if chaotic does succeed and do really well long term, we are going to have people that want the original traditional back in the day 2006 cards. So don't sleep on these things as well. That's just my personal opinion. If you are a true fan of chaotic, you know that these prices are not going to stay as low as they are. And again, I say that with a straight face because I know prices are technically high. You can see it here all across the board, but again, they're expected to go even crazier in the future. So do not sleep on the stuff you do want, especially the Dawn of Param cards as well, because you do have some really cool ones in there in Heptad, Maxor, Kaor, obviously. So there is a lot of great ones, Lord Van Blood. So you have so many great cards in that set, in that first original set especially. So people are going to be chasing those cards again. And then you do have like the other versions of obviously KR the Fairs, and then obviously Maxor and the other versions that are with those cards as well. But again, it's going to be crazy to see what ends up happening in the market for this chaotic scene. I think things are going to only escalate in price. It's going to get crazier as time moves on. All right, let's talk about the chaotic Dawn of Param starter deck display box. Now, this is sealed. Now, this is also unlimited. It's not first edition, but we're down to our last one that I can see on this listing. Now, this person that had it listed actually had one left last week, replenished it to 4, and now is back down to 1. Now, I'm not sure if this person is going to be able to replenish it again if he has a lot more left in stock. But what I will say is, if this is the last one, truthfully, I don't know if we're going to see many appear in the future until closer to the release date of Chaotic. And if it does, I will be surprised. If it doesn't, then we're expected to see some high price tags for these sealed display boxes especially. And again, if the game does well long term, these will be an amazing value to have had at this price, in my opinion. So again, you do that information what you will. I don't think it's terrible. Obviously the first edition, even like 2 or 3 years ago, I think was selling for even cheaper than this. but that's been sold out and completely wiped out the market. So I don't even know, if you can even find one now. And if one does appear, I'm pretty sure someone would buy it immediately as well, because again, it's a first edition sealed display box, and if this one's 400, you can only imagine what the first edition is going for now with the return of Chaotic coming back as well. And last but not least, let's take a look at some sold items. And again, people buying into packs, tins, starter decks, cards, sealed cards, that is, and then obviously your booster boxes as well. So there is a lot of things people are buying into right now. Even pocket binders that have 2 packs in them. There is so much right now that people are interested in buying. But again, there's no surprise, right? You see the date on all these things. These are consistent sales for, again, a chaotic game that has not been out for so long. But with the return, people are buying up a lot of quantity of things in the market. And again, there's not a lot in the market in general. So once things get sold out here, I mean, it's going to be a very scarce market we're looking at, especially if people do want to hold on to those items and be kind of stingy on putting them up, which I wouldn't be doing the same personally. I wouldn't want to put these things up, right? Collector stuff especially, like you want to have them to display, you want to have them to kind of show off in a bit in a way, right? But at the same time, it's going to be very hard to really encourage people to put their stuff up for sale, because again, they're very cool things back in the day type of things as well. And what I will say is that for those that do put it up, they're going to see a much reward in terms of price tag for themselves in the future, especially. But it will be interesting to see at play what goes on here in the space of chaotic in the market, especially. But that's about it for this market watch. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be covering more chaotic market watch news on the channel, especially. Probably going to have like once a week, probably covering market stuff on the channel. If we can do more, great. But again, we're probably going to do once a week for now until the game comes back, and then we'll ramp it up probably every other day. And we'll be talking about market watch, because again, that's the exciting part about a game coming back with new cards supply, is that we're going to talk about stuff that is either going up or down in price, and if the game is actually succeeding in a positive way for product to actually do well in that market as well. So again, a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below of what we discussed today. What you believe, what products will go up right now in terms of the old product, what cards you believe will go up. Again, there's so much to talk about. But from yours truly, Codemaster Sparkman, we'll catch you next one. Please subscribe, comment, and peace out, YouTube.